go.
Meek is too excited to sit down.
We got football to talk about.
Someone doing something down here. I don't know what's going on.
Nobody doing nothing.
We've got unbridled insanity off the top. And look who is back. Monica McNutt. Basketball is back. We got all the football covered for you from a million different directions. But McNutt, let's begin with Steph Curry and Luka Doncic. The NBA's opening night at Golden State. LeBron James missing the opener for the first time in his career with sciatica. But it was Luka taking over for the Lakers.
Rightfully so, Green. I mean, this is the future of the Lakers. I thought Luka obviously new and improved in his physique. He looked great, obviously, offensively, but I thought he showed up defensively later in this ballgame.
Scored 43 points, but just 2 of 10 from 3. Makes that one. It's a 1-point game at halftime. Then third quarter, Warriors start to open it up. Jimmy Butler would lead the way with 31 points.
Yeah, and this is why, for me, Greeny, I think something could be happening in the Bay. I just think there's a level of focus and experience here with this group. They're built a little bit differently than they were last season. And, of course, that guy looks fantastic.
The dish from Draymond to Steph, who had 23. 5 minutes to go. It's Doncic in the painted area. 43, 12, and 9 for him as he gets that to fall. But watch him just 30 seconds later. He would say afterwards, Monica, this is, quote, probably nothing, but it didn't look like nothing on the floor.
Yeah, you saw him begin to grimace late in the ball game, just kind of holding that lower body area. And this is the entire Laker Nation, frankly, the basketball nation is like, gosh, let this not be anything like that.
Meanwhile, Warriors by 7. It's Steph from way downtown. They go on to win it by a score of 119 to 109. So Golden State gets the win, and I will remind you, when their big three of Butler and Draymond and Steph were together last year, they never lost. They may be one of the oldest teams in the NBA, but when they played together, they're 27-8. And they needed all of it because Luka was, in a word, sensational last night. We talked about it. 43 points, 12 boards, 9 assists without LeBron. So Luka, the 5th player with 40, 10, and 5 in an opener, joining Anthony Davis and Michael Jordan and Karl Malone. And they'll come back and they'll work their way together. But it does feel like last night was the first night of the rest of our lives. Yeah. This is Luka's team now, right?
Yeah. And I think, Greeny, when you talk to NBA players or you're on the road for a season, to come into a season in great shape is first a great sign. Now, the tricky part then becomes maintaining that level of conditioning throughout the season. But I thought late in this ball game, this is in the fourth quarter, this defensive effort by Luka was worth calling out because you get in shape to be great offensively, sure, but he's been that. But to have the stamina to compete defensively at a high level, this is Steph who's having a tremendous game, and this is as the Lakers are trying to make their push in terms of potentially closing this gap. I thought that was a great sign from Luka. This is the totality of why you reinvent your body.
Yeah, when Luka and LeBron comes back healthy, they're going to be interesting to watch. The Lakers are always interesting. They could be legit good. Meanwhile, on the other side, we had the stat. If Steph doesn't get hurt in the playoffs last year, who knows what the Warriors wind up being? What do you think they are capable of if, and I know it's a big if, that group stays healthy?
So I was asked about my dark horse finals, well, not dark horse, but finals picks recently with Carmelo Anthony, and I actually kind of got the Warriors coming out of the West right now if they stay healthy.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. As much as we will point to some of the contenders in the West, you might say they're young, right? But one of the youngest teams in the league is currently the reigning champs in the league, and so what does this look like? The experience is undeniable. The work ethic is undeniable. The urgency in the case of Jimmy Butler is undeniable. But what does this team look like when we get to April? Because the mileage, it adds up.
It feels like a very long time ago, but they were cruising along, and then Steph gets hurt, and that was all she wrote. This team, I agree with you. If they're healthy, and that's the biggest if in the sport, they're definitely a team to keep in mind. We had a double overtime thriller in the other game. We'll get to that one shortly in the game from last. The other one was unbelievable. In Oklahoma City, Monica McNutt back with me here. The Rockets and KD, the new look Houston Rockets, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and company getting their rings. Let's pick this thing up already late in the fourth quarter. Kevin Durant would score 23 in his debut for Houston.
He looked like easy money sniper, Greeny. I don't know that there is a social handle that is more appropriate.
Now we're 10 seconds left in regulation. Thunder down 2, but there's SGA. As always, he would score 35. Ime Udoka is like, how in the world do we let that happen as he gets it one-on-one? Thunder tied at 104. We go to overtime where SGA once again picking up where he left off, finding his spots.
Yeah, and SGA is so poised. I mean, he's done a great job of just adding to his game and coming with the appropriate level of urgency back to the season. But this, to me, is why I'm excited excited about this Houston Rockets squad. KD as both facilitator and scorer. Jabari Smith stepping up. He was injured much of last season. I think this Houston Rockets squad is absolutely going to be a problem this year.
Smith had 16. That one makes it a 2-point game. 10 seconds left in the overtime. Alperen Şengün was unbelievable last night.
Greeny, the Rockets dominated on the glass in this one. I think people forget that last year they were ranked as high as 4th in terms of defensive rating. Now, this is maybe good defense, just better offense because that is the reigning MVP. But SGA getting to the free throw line and getting to his spot late in this ball game was a game changer.
SGA would score all those points. He played 47 minutes. Şengün had 39 and 11. Now we got the Thunder with the ball back. SGA. Oh, and there's the 6th foul on KD.
Literally was like Home Alone. Kevin! No, what's happening here? I mean, this is just. But again, the play prior to this, SGA has been killing the zone that the Rockets were playing, so you had to make an adjustment. Again, that's one of his spots. He goes to the free throw lines and take care of the business.
The familiar sight of SGA at the foul line. Thunder take the lead. 2 seconds left in double overtime. Houston with a chance for the win. It's Smith in the corner, but it bounces away. And so a season-opening thriller goes the way of the home team. The Thunder win it 125-124. Some quick thoughts on this. Again, KD plus this Rockets team equals, in your view, what?
I think this team is going to contend. I really do. And I understand the injury to Fred VanVleet, and that is certainly costly. Reed Shepherd did a decent job last night at the point guard spot. But I think, to me, KD is one of those few players that breaks my personal basketball philosophy of you don't just add superstar and add water, right? He's one of the few players that can do it, and I think this defense is going to hold from what we saw last night.
Anything else jump out at you last night?
I thought the Thunder looked like they could be a dynasty, but we just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah, the Thunder were off to a good start. So that was the season-opening doubleheader last night.
Jonathan, Jimmy, a couple people have talked about how much Jimmy's helped you after practice, taking you aside and played one-on-one and giving you guidance. Can you sort of describe his influence on you? Why it's helped, you think?
I'll say I just being a sponge, going to him every single day, not just at the practice, just anytime I interact with him, just trying to pick his brain up. And I feel like in this league, he's one of the people that actually been in my shoes throughout their career, like know what I've been going through or what I've been through. And I would say just a similarity of the game and just his knowledge of the game, just as much as he knows, you know, and that's why he's Jimmy, and just trying to pick his brain as much as I can.
How do you feel like you played? How did you feel like you played tonight?
I'll say not bad. Just good to help the team win this game, but you know, it was just decent. You know, I was just trying to pick up the speed, learning how to play with Jimmy and Steph and Draymond on the same floor. Yeah.
9 rebounds and 6 assists is, you know, but some of the talk post game. How, lasered are you in on rebounding, and how much do you believe your assisting has improved over the summer?
I'll say just the rebound part. It's just been a goal I've been speaking to my people, just myself, AV, you know. I was trying to set a goal and just be a rebounder as much as I can. No matter how my game is going on offense and defense, just making sure, just impacting on that side of the game, just being a great rebounder. And I'll say assist-wise, it's just the game has slowed down so much. It's just things I'm reading way better compared to, before or my past. So, just letting the game come to me easily. And not trying to force a lot of things and just reading how people playing against me or, how we're moving on the court with different people on the floor, with Steph, with Jimmy, Draymond, with Buddy, just pretty much everybody on the team, and, just learning how they're moving, and I think it's one of the things I kind of went through over summertime, watching a lot of films, just working on playing without the ball, with the ball, using certain people as Jimmy, Steph, just focusing on how to play with those people and just working on my own basketball pace, and I think that's kind of helped me throughout the summer. That's what helping me out there to just seeing the game even better.
Your defensive assignment tonight was Luka. It seemed like you were pretty focused on defending him without fouling, keeping your arms at your sides. What were some of the challenges to that matchup, and I guess how would you describe how you fared in it?
I think for my past 4 years I've been here, they'll just give me those type of assignments, just going out there, guarding the best players, and Luka being one of them. I just try to go out there and just defend without fouling. Just trying to make his life a little bit harder. He's still one of the best players in this league. I'm not going to stop him every single time. Just going out there, try to bother him. He's a great player. Just focusing on that assignment and trying to do my best. And I think just going forward, that's pretty much my assignment, doing those type of things, just making sure I don't foul and that's it.
How good does your three-point shot feel?
I mean, it feels great. It's a couple. It's something that I have so much confidence in doing it, especially if I'm going to be out there playing with Jimmy and Steph, and Draymond to try to create more, as much space as I can. And it's something I've been working on all summer. It feels great, and I'm not afraid of shooting it because I know how much time I put working on that three-point shot, and it feels good. So I don't have any problem shooting, and they actually want me to shoot so I could give certain people space. But I'm so confident about my shot going through this season.
Quinton Post reveals what Stephen Curry did that mattered more than scoring. Quinton Post is quickly becoming one of the most intriguing young talents on the Golden State Warriors roster. In his rookie season, he quietly made a name for himself, shooting an impressive 40.8% from three-point range and averaging 8.1 points per game. As a modern stretch big, he's carved out a valuable role in the Warriors' rotation, and he's not done yet. During the preseason, Post continued to show his offensive potential, especially in a standout performance against the Portland Trail Blazers where he dropped 16 points, including 3 three-pointers. But when asked about his recent success, Post didn't take the credit for himself. Instead, he pointed to one major factor: Stephen Curry. "What you saw out there, that's just the effect of having Steph Curry on the floor," Post said. "He makes everything so much easier for everyone on offense. And defensively, I think we handled things much better than the last time we faced them." The game marked Curry's return after missing the previous matchup against the Lakers. And he didn't disappoint, putting up 28 points and leading the Warriors to a 118-111 win over Portland. "This was a big statement game for him," Post added. "He sat out last game, and then came back and just took over. He said something before tip-off that really stuck with me. But more than anything, it's his leadership, the way he sets the tone, that makes the biggest difference." While Curry leads the way offensively, Post is focused on improving where it really matters for his position: rebounding. Despite his offensive contributions, Post pulled down only 2 defensive rebounds in the game. Not enough, he admits, for a player in his role. "We did a better job controlling the pace, but we still had too many turnovers. And on defense, I'm not even sure what the rebounding numbers were. I just know I need to be better. That's my priority right now, becoming a more effective rebounder." Last season, Post faced criticism for his defensive inconsistency. He knows that if he wants to keep growing and solidify his role long-term, that's the area he has to improve. Fortunately, he's not doing it alone. With the mentorship of Al Horford, who shares a similar playing style as a stretch 5, Post is in the right environment to evolve. If he continues to develop, especially on the defensive end, Quinton Post could be a key piece in the Warriors' rotation for years to come. And with Steph Curry leading by example, he's got one of the best blueprints in the game to learn from. But what makes Post's comments so striking isn't just his humility, it's the deeper acknowledgement of how Stephen Curry continues to reshape the game without always needing to light up the scoreboard. For a young player like Post, recognizing the power of Curry's off-ball move, leadership, and court gravity shows a level of maturity that's catching the attention of coaches and analysts alike. Internally, sources close to the team say the coaching staff has been impressed with Post's approach during training camp. While his shooting numbers draw the headlines, it's his willingness to learn and take ownership of his weakness, like rebounding and defensive, that's earned him growing respect in the locker room. In particular, his openness about needing to improve on the glass has resonated with veterans like Draymond Green and Kevin Looney, who have both taken on mentoring roles with him in recent weeks. During practices, Post has been seen working closely with assistant coaches focusing on boxing out drills, rebounding reads, and interior footwork, a sign that he's committed to rounding out his game. Outside of the Warriors camp, Post's preseason performance and his comments about Curry sparked interest across NBA media. Analysts on national shows highlighted the quote about Curry making everything easier, using it as yet another example of the intangible impact the two-time MVP has on his teammates. Former players and commentators have also pointed out that this kind of awareness, especially from a rookie, is rare, and could signal that Post has the mindset to stick in the league. "You don't hear a lot of young bigs talking like that," said one analyst during a post-game breakdown. "He understands the game beyond just stats." That's huge. Looking ahead, the Warriors see Post as a potential long-term piece, someone who can eventually fill a similar role to Al Horford, a smart, versatile big who stretches the floor, moves the ball, and plays within the system. If he can elevate his rebounding and improve his defensive reads, he may even find himself closing games down the line. For now, though, Post remains focused on the next step. "There's still so much I need to work on," he said after the win over Portland. "But being around guys like Steph, Draymond, Looney, it's helping me grow faster. I just want to keep earning my minutes." As the regular season approaches, all eyes will be on whether Post can carry his preseason momentum into meaningful games. And if he does, with Curry still drawing defenders and opening lanes, the Warriors might have found a valuable new weapon hiding in plain sight.